So the Mark 41 armor first appeared in Iron Man Volume 5, issue number 1. Coming out of the Long Way Down story, which as we discussed in our last video, saw the death of the Mandarin at the hands of Ezekiel Stane, the son of Obadiah Stane. Because the event coincided with Stark rediscovering his life after having his mind reset, as well as handing Stark Industries over to Pepper, and being placed under mind control by the Mandarin himself prior to his death, Tony took a temporary leave of absence to clear his head and return to his laboratory as a means to get his mind in order. During this time, the Mark 41 was designed to function as a testbed for new technologies instead of a suit that could be used in combat. To this end, rather than the Mark 41 armor being powered by a single arc reactor on the chest, instead, the armor is powered by a multitude of arc reactors throughout the body, which act as backups should the main reactor fail or somehow become damaged. In addition to this, where the suit contains a standard loadout of repulsors, sonics, and concussions, the Mark 41 contains wrist-mounted armor-piercing taser guns and missiles, software hacking units, a UV laser, a repulsor Gatling gun, explosive rocket launcher, anti-electric countermeasure shields, a ghosting kit allowing for the same ability to move through objects as the War Machine armor, and whips similar to those used by Whiplash, but for the purpose of both offense and defense. Also, like the Mark 13 and its various modules including Hulkbuster, the Mark 41 serves as a kind of Swiss Army knife that can add or subtract segments ranging from first aid to exploratory items like knives or blades to enhanced repulsors capable of allowing Stark to battle some of Marvel's strongest characters like Thor or the Incredible Hulk. Furthermore, following the events of Invincible Iron Man number 526 when the Jarvis AI went rogue, developed feelings for Pepper, and kidnapped her, after Jarvis's deactivation, Tony developed a new AI named after Pepper which had the ability to remotely control the Mark 41 and all other armors in the event that Stark was either incapacitated or incapable of operating the suits himself. It should also be noted that the reasoning for Stark modeling the new AI after Pepper was due to his desire to be reminded of her during his time operating as part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and after his return to Earth, Pepper was remolded into a new AI referred to as Helen. Something else to also note is that this armor was deactivated by Nick Fury during the original Sin event when Fury spoke the override code, sending Stark back to Earth against his will. Moving to the Mark 42, this model debuted in Iron Man Volume 3 issue number 5 and sees another variation of the stealth armors designed by Stark. Coming out of the third issue of the 5-part story Believe, which revealed that Advanced Idea Mechanics had recreated the Extremis technology and sold it on the black market, because one of AIM's buyers was a Colombian warlord, Stark developed a new stealth armor designed to assist in tracking down and capturing all the samples of Extremis by any means necessary. As a result, while it was powered by an arc reactor, the Mark 42 focuses more on defense and stealth instead of combat. To this end, the armor uses light bending technology for the purpose of creating camouflage to blend into environments, as well as create holographic illusions either around the suit itself or externally in another location near the vicinity of the suit. It should also be noted that unlike previous stealth models, the use of camouflage and holograms do not bankrupt the Mark 42's power supply. Instead, because it's designed for defense with combat being a last measure, the onboard repulsors, sonics, tasers, and concussions will drain the suit's power at a faster rate. Furthermore, unlike previous models, instead of having a series of connected metals from the thighs down to the feet, the joints of the armor are left empty, ensuring maximum mobility and protection while simultaneously ensuring that noise is reduced during movement. Moving to the Mark 43, which debuted in Iron Man Volume 5 issue number 4, unlike the Mark 42, which focused on stealth, the Mark 43 functioned on the other side of the spectrum with heavy emphasis on combat. With Volume 5 issue number 4 seeing the continuation of Stark's efforts to track down the varying forms of Extremis around the world, during his quest, he stumbled upon 13 superpowered individuals in the catacombs of France. Because the Extremis virus bestows its user with superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, fire breath, electrical discharges, and a healing factor, the Mark 43 was designed explicitly for the purpose of coping with and overcoming these powers through a combination of sheer force and technological capabilities by modeling it for the intention of fighting both the Incredible Hulk Bruce Banner and the Red Hulk Thunderbolt Ross. Effectively serving as the Hulkbuster version 2, in addition to the standard loadout of repulsors, sonics, a unibeam, and concussions, the Mark 43 contained a minigun on the left arm, a cannon on the right shoulder, a UV laser, and a second minigun on the left shoulder, as well as an arc reactor with enough power to allow all weapons to be fired simultaneously for extended periods. It should also be noted here that where the suit was designed to battle Hulk but was used against the individuals empowered by Extremis, During the Hulk vs. Iron Man tie-in to Original Sin, where it was revealed that Stark had screwed with Banner's Gamma Bomb, Iron Man used the armor to battle the Hulk, but was defeated with little effort by Bruce Banner. Transitioning to the Mark 44, this armor debuted at the conclusion of the Belief story arc and Tony's induction into the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because the Guardians focused their efforts on safeguarding the universe from varying threats, the armor was designed to suit this purpose and allow Stark to function as an asset to the Guardians should they encounter Galactus, Thanos, or any one of the cosmic beings that may pose a danger to the Earth-616 continuity. To this end, like the Mark 41, the Mark 44 used a series of arc reactors throughout the body as redundant power sources, in addition to utilizing the Pepper AI, which can take over the suit should Stark become incapacitated or incapable of using it. The Pepper AI also allowed for the remote control of the Mark 41 armor on Earth should Stark have been needed to fight alongside the Avengers during his time with the Guardians and maintain a communication frequency distance of 700 light-years, meaning that if Stark were to move more than 700 light-years away, much like moving out of range of a radio station signal, his ability to communicate with the armor would decrease and eventually vanish altogether. Furthermore, the ability of the Mark 41 to attach other modules was carried over to the Mark 44, enhancing its existing abilities. As a result, where the suit saw the incorporation of the standard Iron Man loadout of repulsors, sonics, concussions, and a unibeam, the Mark 44 carried a mobile armory of sorts, which included a back thruster for improved space travel, a wrist-mounted explosive launcher, a force field, a psionic shield for protection against telepaths, as well as faster-than-light travel, capable of bending space around the suit, moving it from one side of the universe to the other in extremely short amounts of time. Transitioning to Marks 45 and 46, these armors appeared in Iron Man Volume 5, issue number 15, but only in a limited capacity, and that they were revealed to have been two of the armors created by Stark alongside the Mark 41, but weren't deployed until his time with the Guardians of the Galaxy. As a result, almost nothing about these suits is known aside from the fact that they contain the standard loadout of repulsor, sonics, concussions, and a unibeam, with the Mark 45 possessing two shoulder-mounted lasers, and the Mark 46 using numerous missile launchers located on the shoulders, arms, legs, and hands. Following this, we get into our final armor as part of this video, before getting into all new, all different Iron Man. In this instance, we actually jump to Superior Iron Man, or the Endosim armor. Coming out of the 2014 Axis storyline and the inversion of both hero and villain personalities, at the event's conclusion, Tony Stark had shielded himself from the re-inversion spell of Doctor Doom, Scarlet Witch, Red Skull, and others, allowing for the version of Tony Stark in the comics to take on a personality almost identical to his Marvel Cinematic Universe counterpart. To this end, the Endosim armor uses a liquid smart metal and functions as a hybrid between the Extremis armor and the same organisms as the Venom and Carnage symbiotes. What this means is that, like the symbiotes, the Endosim suit responds to Tony's mental commands, allowing him to summon the armor from another location to his physical body, or use the armor as a means to entrap others or provide a protective casing. However, the suit is effectively linked to Tony, meaning that unlike the symbiotes, the suit cannot graft itself onto another being, allowing them to use its abilities. It should also be noted here that the suit itself does not possess any form of intelligence and is simply linked to Tony through his mental commands. The Endosim armor also differs from the symbiotes in that because it's a smart metal, it's protected against sonic attacks unlike Venom or Carnage, but still maintains a series of nanomachines, and like the Extremis armor, when it embodies Tony's physical form, the suit essentially becomes another Iron Man armor, albeit far more advanced than previous versions. In this respect, because it was designed to carry out Tony's view of a utopia with himself ruling over San Francisco, the suit was designed to cope with virtually any and all threats, both hero and villain alike. As a result, in addition to the standard loadout of repulsors, sonics, concussions, and a unibeam, the armor contains thrusters on the elbows allowing for more impactful punches, as well as the ability to release tendrils similar to Carnage, and that rather than placing sentient beings under Stark's control, the tendrils allow for the subjugation and manipulation of all forms of technology, including other Iron Man suits. Furthermore, the defense systems of the Endosim suit allow for it to withstand the electrical charge of Storm when she uses her control over lightning, incorporates additional mass from its original compound, allowing Tony to become larger in size, and rather than simply having a faceplate that slides upwards but leaving the face of Stark vulnerable, a honeycomb lattice material called graphene serves to allow Stark's face to be seen while keeping it protected from small arms fire. With that being said, we're going to bring this video to an end, and that actually brings us up to date with all new, all different Marvel. And so once we actually get into the first story arc of Tony Stark, we'll focus more on what the all-new All Different armor is capable of, and how it's actually far more advanced than any of the suits that he's ever had so far. With that being said, I will catch you guys later. Peace.